Alright, kamusta na kayo mga pogi at magaganda? Welcome to the Pro Gaming Series 2016 Spring Split Finals. I am, of course, GS Asarai with a 9 alongside here with me is...
GS Amplifier.
Yes, and again, like I said, this is the finals now. I'm so excited. It's gonna be a best of 5 series between Smart MSKI versus Imperium Pro Team.
Yeah, so a lot of things to look forward to today. Gaya na sinabi mo, grabe, these teams have really shown up so much during the past, especially IPT.
Yeah.
With the sudden roster change, they went straight 4-0 against Celestial and Naga. I mean, props to those two teams. They're very new to the Pro Gaming Series. They had a really great run, but IPT really showed their veteran experience. Tapos, ginulat tayo ni JLC.
Yeah,
out of nowhere, biglang nagbalik lang, tapos biglang, wow, ang
He
lakas
showed the
talaga.
Rama stop and he showed how to do the flanking poppy,
Yeah,
man.
the flank lord.
Yeah, the flank
JLC.
lords.
JLC. And again, we're gonna have a best of 5 and a lot of prizes are still awaiting you guys now. Don't forget, guys, meron pa rin tayong unlock and win. Meaning we still have to hit that 5K viewer mark and then the 8K viewer mark so that everyone gets prizes. So do watch out for that. And then what else do we have?
We also have the stream and win. So while you are watching the stream right now, you can take a selfie while watching the stream. Check more details in the PGS Facebook. So that's Pro Gaming Series, guys. And the prizes for that is the legendary bundle. We have the Dank Master Darius, the Broloff, and the Corporate Mundo. We also, of course, have the, kahapon sa LCL, it's the ultimate code.
Yes.
Now we have again the match and win, the random naman. We're giving away the Void Fizz, the Forsaken Jace, the Project Z, Bloodstone Lissandra, and Bloodlord Vladimir.
Alright, then of course, the general knowledge about the winner, of course, for today. Kung sino man mananalo dito sa best of 5 nito, sila ang mag-represent sa Philippines at GPL. That's the Garena Premier League. Yung Road to Worlds natin basically is, first, of course, yung PGS. Whoever wins PGS goes to GPL. Whoever wins GPL goes to International Wildcard. And then whoever wins that gets a slot at Worlds,
yeah,
baby.
Man. True that,
really
true that. And of course, it's all expenses paid.
Yes.
So aside from you playing games overseas, it's all, paid for. That's gonna be very, very sweet to, feel. So when all is said and done, let's go into the first game's pick and ban. Again, this is a best of 5 series, so hindi ito best of 3, hindi ito best of 1, it's a best of 5. Hanggang sa pinakadulo, gusto kong makita magbakbakan itong Imperium Pro Team and Smart MSKI.
Yes, alright, so we're gonna get to the pick and ban phase in just a bit. Again, best of 5 finals now of the Pro Gaming Series, and this will be the chance for our teams to get international exposure.
Yeah.
For all we know, baka sa Worlds na dire-diretso to.
That's true, that's true. International wildcard, as well as I think, wait, kung ngayon ba, is it going to be Worlds agad or
No, I
MSI?
think since this is spring pa lang,
Yeah.
I believe it might only be MSI, but we'll confirm.
But still,
yeah,
man.
of course.
Exposure.
Yes, it's exposure. So really a lot to learn for them. Let's take a look at the bans now. Twisted Fate, Lulu, and Trundle banned from the side of IPT. And the MSKI will be banning Kalista, Corki, and Poppy. So expected bans natin to, no? Of course, for the side of IPT, Twisted Fate is an obvious ban against Yume because he's been very successful on the champion. Veterans na yung mga teams natin to. So they know each other actually very, very well. Lulu also being banned because TG has used him twice so far in the 4 games that they've played. Trundle also being banned because both TG and Kaiku can actually use Trundle. So this is a very important flex pick to ban away. Kalista and Corki are targeted on Light and, of course, Hate. Because these two are very important carry champions and they were used to defeat Naga 2-0 during the playoffs. So very important. And Poppy, of course, being targeted on the JLC, who, of course, showed us how amazingly he can flank on that champion.
True that, man. But look at this, Suez with the Kindred in the jungle.
Yes! And we were just talking about this because Kindred has seen a lot of play recently in a lot of the other regions. And we were wondering, sino nga ba yung naging Kindred sa dalawang team na to? Parang wala masyado. Kasi yung kilala lang talaga na naging Kindred dito sa Pilipinas ay si Rebenga. Especially no MPGL. He used him, I think, twice or thrice. So seeing Suez on Kindred now, this is a very important niche pick. And hopefully we'll get to see him carry on this
Carry-based
champion.
jungler too.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
we did talk about how Imperium Pro Team were that triple threat right now. Will they go for a quadra threat?
Quadra threat, that's actually very possible. Although, nakita natin, Sivir was taken on the side of IPT.
Yes.
So Hate will be going to a slightly more wave clear and utility-based AD carry to give room for another possible triple threat, maybe in the form of Suez, Light, and then JLC possibly.
Yeah, and I kind of like this because, basing what we saw before from the previous split, or just the earlier split of the spring split, that Haith always goes in for the solo lane push on his ADR.
Nung popular pa si Vayne.
Yeah, kahit sino ADR ginagawa niya yun.
Yeah.
But now I kind of like how he transitioned into a much more team-based player, and it actually allows Imperium Pro team, you know, much more variety on how they use these champions. You know, so they have now a Sivir, which allows them, like you said, more utility with the on the hunt. You know, just go in with the engages from that extra movement speed boost.
Yeah, that's true. So taking a look at the rest of the picks, MSKI grabbing Janna. That's obviously going to be support for Kaigu. And then Kulit using Elise. Gaya na sinabi namin, Elise and Gragas are very high contested picks for Suez and Kulit kasi they both use Gragas and Elise. So we'll be seeing, I think, those two champions for the rest of the, if ever, 5 games. And then Lucian for EXO, he's very successful on the champion. And Lissandra, also another very popular pick recently for mid lane mostly.
Yeah, can go for TG here, but TG's hovering over an Ignite and TP. Is he gonna go for a crazy Fizz top lane here without the flash?
Maybe.
I'm just saying, guys.
You never know. Kasi, yeah, this could be Yume on Lissandra, but I would like to bet on... Actually, I was going to get
that's actually
bet
true.
against Yume using a utility champion kasi we were talking earlier about how the really important matchup of this game would be on mid lane.
Yeah, Yume and Light.
Light and Yume, both very, I would say, arguably one of the 2 most talented mid laners in the Philippines. And wow, we're seeing a Hecarim
for the first
in the
time.
Top lane. This is a very unique pick. This is not really being used in the other regions. So maybe MSKI has something up their sleeve. Let's take a look at the team compositions first though. So for IPT, that's Nautilus being top lane, which is again another popular pick. Kindred on Suez, Azir on Light on Azir, and then that's going to be Sivir and Alistar. So we're seeing actually pretty nice balance of damage, both AD and AP.
As well as disengage and survivability from the Lamb's Respite and, of course, the Emperor's Divide.
Yeah, and then we're seeing relevant setup throughout all stages of the game. So for the early game, they can rely on Sivir for that nice wave clear, that nice early game damage, and of course the sort of AoE crits that you get with the Ricochet. And then eventually, kapag dumating na yung late game, you're gonna have Kindred and Azir who are very painful. Of course, during that late game, they have nice disengage, they have nice engage, of course with the Nautilus and the Alistar. Meanwhile, for MSKI, we're seeing that it's mostly a mid-game spike. Lucian and Lissandra are going to explode pretty much when it comes to mid-game.
That's true.
And along with Hecarim, sino kaya ang mas magaling mag-flank? Si TG or si JLC?
I keep remembering, was it JLC who actually got a pentakill on the Hecarim before?
I actually don't recall.
I can remember.
But I would be happy to see something like that in this game. But MSKI are really looking to get that early to mid-game advantage.
Yeah, that's why they have the Elise.
Yeah, exactly. Because Elise can really put a lot of pressure into the lanes, especially on Azir or Kindred. There's really a lot of pressure that can be placed there. And then, of course, the TP plays, they have a double TP. So they have the TP advantage. They can really mess up the map and create a lot of plays on different sides. They have TP from Lissandra. They have the flanks from Hecarim. So they can really, if they decide to, they can really be proactive during early to mid-game. And really end this game quickly bago pa man makascale ito si Kindred and si Azir, because once that happens, things will get pretty dangerous for MSKI.
Yeah, we have to check it out then, because like you have a Sivir with a spell shield on, so like, that can counter 1 CC coming in from, well, look at this, lots of singular target CCs here. I guess aside from the Ring of Frost nung Lissandra, and then Light actually getting that cleanse. So paano pag nagamit yung Frozen Tomb kay Light or kay Hate, and then you know immediate spell shield or that cleanse, will it ruin it for MSKI, or you know? Can they come back from that?
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
See.
Sa galawan talaga
lahat yan. Sa galawan, exactly.
In the end, we'll try to dissect those team fights on slow motion later with the replays and stuff. But for now, we can only look at it from sort of a strategic perspective. Pero nag-usap kami kanina ni Astra and Riku when you were making some predictions. And we'd like to see what would happen. I think Riku predicted that IPT will be winning this one. She didn't give a number though. May sabi ba siya? 3-1.
Wala siya sinabi number.
So she just said that it would... sabi niya best of 5.
Yeah, best of 5. So 2-2 then like,
I'm guessing 3-1 in favor of IPT. And you're guessing...
Close match in favor of MSKI. I gotta be the odd man out.
Okay. So that's 2. Me and Riku, IPT, and you're predicting MSKI. But we'll have to see who's gonna win that prediction. And we're gonna be entering the Rift in just a bit. Again, this is the Pro Gaming Series Finals. Something we've been waiting for a very long time, and I'm sure our teams are very anxious to find out who's going to win this best of 5 because that team will be going to Malaysia on April to represent the Philippines in the fight of Southeast Asian teams at the Garena Premier League.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see because yesterday was the LCL Spring Term Finals. Again, it was already the Phantom University who actually had that reverse sweep against University of Iloilo, and they got like all of their matches were so explosive na kami ni Manjin, we were already out of breath, and after that match I was about half dead already.
Yeah. We know that feel after a game when you're pretty much dying already from all of the exciting things.
Yeah,
Pero yun yung gusto namin. And we hope you guys are going to enjoy this best of 5 too. I really hope that the teams bring out their best. And of course, not only the teams are going to be winning stuff today, but you guys are as well. What do we have in store for everyone?
Again, guys, we have the unlock and win. So we have already unlocked the 2K milestone from yesterday's finals. Now we are looking for that 5,000 viewer mark. So if you can go into that 5,000 viewer mark, you will be getting, all of you, a Frosted Ezreal skin. Kung ma-push mo natin ito into 8,000, that's so great because you're gonna also get an Academy Ari skin, which is, of course, 2 for the price of 1. Just watch, padamihin nyo lang mga viewers natin, and then you get free skins as well as, awesome games. Why not?
Yeah, so if everyone wants to be a winner, all you have to do, share nyo lang yung stream link. Get as many of your friends to watch this as you can, and when we get that 5K viewer mark, everyone, as in everyone, gets that Frosted Ezreal. Just find out how to join. Here it is. We have the mechanics right on the screen. You just have to keep your eyes peeled to viewership count, which is pretty much at the bottom part of the screen, and then you'll see slowly but surely as you share the link to your friends and help us increase the viewership, everyone is a winner. The teams will get for support. Kayo makakakuha mo kayo ng skin.
Yes.
And the Philippine esports in general wins pretty much as well.
Yeah,
so.
and don't forget then we also have the stream and win. So all you have to do is go to the Pro Gaming Series Facebook page and follow the instructions. So first of all, you have to take a selfie while watching the stream, and then you have to just check the details na lang for the follow-up rules.
Yeah.
So when all is said and done, tapos na yung mga giveaways na yan, let's go into the Summer Recep and welcome, guys. This is Game 1 in this Best of 5 series between Imperium Pro Team versus Smart Mineski for the PGS 2016 Spring Split Finals. So in the blue side, we have IPT top lane. It's going to be JLC with the Nautilus. In the jungle, Suez on that Kindred. In the mid lane, it's going to be Light for the Azir. And in the bottom lane duo, we have Haith for the Sivir. And Poisanity shall be his Minotaur Alistar.
Yes, and for the red side, there's going to be Smart Mineski, our reigning champions. But will they remain champions today? That's what we're going to have to find out. First, we have top lane TG on Hecarim, Kulit on Elise, Yume on Lissandra. For the bot lane, that's Exo and Kaigo with Lucian and Janna.
Alright, so that early ward coming in from the side of Mineski does spot out this aggressive deep vision warding coming in from this from the IPT roster. Looks like they're just trying to spot out if there's going to be that lane swap. So looking into it, Haith in the top lane will be that, well, he's going to the top lane, basically.
Yeah, I wonder what they're planning to do here. It's probably going to be a race again for lane swaps. Grabe! Every day, sa kahit ano region tayo makapunta, lagi tayo nakakita ng lane swap.
Well,
pretty much all regions. And in terms of wave clear,
I have to give it to Haith, though.
would, he would have the better wave clear, assuming level 2. That would be a nice boomerang and ricochet combo.
Yeah, because unless like you can hit your piercing light, parang i-angle mo pa siya to hit every single minion, you do lose to that wave clear fate with the Sivir talaga.
Yeah, that's true. So we'll see how the teams will respond to this lane swap. Nakita na ni TG na wala siyang katapat sa top lane. So I'm pretty sure they already know that this is going to be a lane swap. Yep, TG not showing himself. And there's a lot of pings going down. Yep.
Yeah, and this is pretty dangerous for TG actually because he has an ignite and teleport. So if he gets ganked in that top lane, he has no sense or no actual point of, how would you say this, counterplay without the flash. I mean, he can ignite, but then it's going to be an explosive, gank in that top lane, having like a Suez, JLC, Haith, and then Sivir and Alistar. That's a lot of CC as well as tankiness, for that 4-1 tower dive if ever it does happen.
Yeah, that's true. So they really have to play it safe here.
Yeah, but he did. He teleported to the bottom lane to a trinket, so...
So they're going to get that red buff on the enemy side. Meanwhile, Kindred going to be on the other side taking his own red buff. And then we're going to see a probably 4-man push, as we always do in almost every game.
Now this
at
is
least professionally.
Now this is where it gets tricky because like Philippine teams, they do well the initial 4-man push, get that tier 1, and then how can they transition out of that? We've seen I think MSKI do it and they kind of wonked it up a little bit.
Yeah,
so
they did.
we'll
MSKI,
see. Yeah.
historically, hindi sila yung pinakamagaling in terms of macro play. Lalo na kapag dating sa mga lane swap. We've seen them sort of fail a couple of times, especially internationally against teams like Bubba Marines and etc. And now we're seeing there is gonna be an outer turret trade. Tignan natin kung sino kaya mauuna. But it'll be a pretty much even one-for-one trade in terms of turrets.
Yeah.
Yun yung sinasabi mo nga, yung importante dito, kung ano mangyayari after. Because that's usually where really we see which is a smarter team, who has the better shot calling, who has the better macro play. And there go the turrets.
Ah, there you go. The first turret going down in favor of Imperium Pro Team. What an advantage. Just kidding. And checking out, these top laners, it will really heavily rely on MSKI to actually give farm to TG, because comparing the Nautilus to the Hecarim with how I would assume you'd build the Hecarim with a Trinity Force or something in that aspect of itemizations, you have to give him a free lane in order to get that items, because as a Nautilus, all you have to do is probably get yourself like a Bomby Cinder or Chain Vest and then get yourself level 6 and you're good to go. You just go in for the fights, initiate, and that's about it. But if you're a Hecarim without itemizations, your Shadow Moses, that Onslaught of Shadows, without items is just, well, a split, a mess, splitting tool, no damage whatsoever.
Exactly. And nakita natin, MSKI actually decided to push the bot lane turret all the way. So they're looking for a turret advantage instead of bouncing the wave back. Kasi yung nangyari, JLC actually decided to freeze the wave at top. So he's gonna have a CS advantage over TG. And like we were saying, kapag nakalamang itong si JLC against TG and CS, TG really may fall behind in damage later when they're looking to fight mid-game.
That's true. Plus, that's a Bruiser Nautilus in the top lane with Corrupting Potion. So if TG goes in without items, he's gonna get Riptide to hell in that top lane.
Yeah, so nakita natin the pushing of MSKI at bot lane did not work. So they will be returning to top lane. Sadly, GLC was not able to reset the wave, so this is going to be really awkward because that's going to be obviously a freeze in favor of pretty much EXO.
Yeah.
So he's going to be freezing this here, and GLC may fall behind in CS for this one.
Yeah, because he actually gets caught out there. Gets the knock-up. Lots of damage coming out of Suez, and boy, you're going to go down in that bottom lane. CG, first blood going into Suez, as well as the Rift Herald. Didn't see him take that, though.
Yeah, IPT read that pretty well. They knew it was coming after that bot lane push. It would be EXO going back top, TG going back to bot lane, so they read that one well, and now they're going to try and get a turret of their own. They will be able to take this, I think, pretty much uncontested.
Yeah, man. They didn't... Yeah, the Stallion in that bottom lane just got leashed. Damn.
Yeah, so we'll see. It's going to be nice early lead for IPT, and this is a bit of a worry.
Hold that thought. There's the ultimate coming out of light, but here comes Colette. Bit aggressive there. Can he land the cocoon? Yes, he can, but will they have enough damage? There goes the frozen. Oh my god, Colette! Oh, he has the repel though, but he almost dies to that. But there he goes. Talked about it a while ago. He has the cleanse, so immediately out of the frozen tomb, just get out of there.
Yeah,
get
that
out
was
of there.
Really close. 2 summoner spells taken already for Light. That was a good gank by Colette. That should give Yume a lot of breathing room in this mid lane to try and get a CS lead. So far, though, it's looking pretty even for mid lane only. Grabe yung CS difference at top lane. It's TG with 3, 4 CS to JLC's 29.
Yeah, and again, this is what we're going back to. Can MSKI actually allot their resources or control the waves in order and so that it'll allow actually TG to, safely farm a lane? Because nakita na natin though, Suez and Poisanity were ready winning, like you said. Alam na nila. But here go, alam na rin nila na kinukuha yung Dragon. There comes Colette as well as Kaigo gonna stop this take of the Dragon objective. They will push them back as Poisanity is pretty low in HP there. And will they try to take it themselves, as you do see that 3 members, actually 4 members are there. Yes, they will. And JLC actually from the top lane just walking in onto that mid lane, hoping for a fight, but he will not find any. Mamaya ka na, maghanap ng kalaban dyan, pare ko.
Yeah, that was a lot of wasted time. Actually, IPT did not put vision around Dragon before taking it. They got a bit greedy after taking bot lane. Kasi akala siguro nila, no one's gonna respond here, even if you have the wards. You see, that's the problem. You have to set up for objectives before you take them, and time is of the essence for IPT's comp. They have to be as efficient as they can with Kindred and Azir so that they can scale into late game. The more time you waste, the less stacks you get for the Devourer, the less gold you have, and you might not be able to match yung sobrang lakas na mid-game spike neto na MSKI with their team comp.
Yeah, we have to check it out though, because looking into that mid lane, Yume is a bit behind in CS against Light, but he hasn't, lost it. And in terms of the ADRs, look at that, 49 to 72. My God.
Yeah, so we're seeing
EXO free farm.
actually nag-exchange lang ng CS lead yung mga to eh. Their IPT was able to get a nice CS lead for JLC while sacrificing hates. So this is what happens. Ito talagang lane swaps are such a delicate thing, really.
Yeah,
Kapag hindi niyo na-control na maayos yung lane swap, there will really be yung mga differences in CS.
It's like baking. Like you have to have that consistency on the the timing and knowing what ingredients you have to use, right?
Yeah, Pantheon would
Exactly.
know a lot about that.
Oh yeah,
being a
but
baker
we
himself.
don't have Pantheon here,
Yeah,
man.
sadly.
Yeah.
Ever since the nerf, the baker cried and baked in his own room in isolation.
Yeah, and Aurelion Sol is just like there. Oh, you wanted to be a baker, huh?
Ay, nako. Can't
man.
wait for that Aurelion Sol.
Man.
Meanwhile, there's going to be a top lane push. Let's see. They will decide to dive this. There's no level 6 yet for TG though.
Yeah, wave clear here for Suez and Poisanity are pretty bad now. JLC is here with the Riptide, but will they actually defend this? The top tier 1 is pretty down on HP. There's the culling coming out of EXO to just chip away at the HPs here for the members of Imperium Pro Team. No teleport whatsoever because, well, JLC is already in the top lane and Light is cleansed in that mid lane.
Yeah, they have to be careful though because there's wards here for Yume to TP on. So kung mag-all-in and engage ito MSKI, there's a TP advantage for Yume. Unlike Light na will have to Shurima dash all the way to top lane.
Yeah,
It's gonna take long.
you have to take note though, because like lots of PH players, they do tend to look for that. Oh wait, double man knockup. There's a devastating blow. Misses the cocoon there, but will they follow up? Here comes the engage in that top lane. It's gonna be a 4v3. Poisanity as well as Suez are on the run. Here comes TG, and they will just back off, wanting to get that top tier 1. TG so low! There you go! Hawk smash coming in from JLC with the Riptide, just ripping away the HP of TG. EXO follows through, but is there enough damage that he will be able to get the kill onto Suez? No, he will not. Colette goes out of his mind to try and bite the Kindred. He will get the finalizing blow, but JLC gets the 2-0-1 in that top lane. And Hate, oh my god, he goes back to the classic Memento. He's gonna go in as that split pushing ADR in that bottom lane.
Yeah, so grabe. I think that was quite poorly executed by MSKI with that tower dive at top lane. There were too many tanks, there was too much CC. You had the level 6 for... Oh wait, did you have the level 6 for Suez? I'm not so sure.
Yeah, he had, but he didn't use.
Yeah, so really, that was quite poorly executed by MSKI. And really nice control of aggression from IPT. Nakita natin, they engaged at just the right time with that hook from JLC. Hooking onto, I believe that was Colette, and then flashing in for the kill. Very controlled engage. Unlike MSKI, I think that was a bit too over-aggressive from them. Imbis na nag-engage sila, I think they should have just kept the slow push, use the culling, slowly take down the tower instead of giving up a couple of kills to...
Or rather, they kind of engaged onto that top tier 1. Granted, they got the tower ready, but they forced themselves a little bit too much. And you started already. The hook was there. It was able to grab TG by the hindquarters because he's a horse, and then Riptide coming out of JLC just to finalize the death blow onto that Hecarim.
Yeah, exactly. So giving up an early advantage to a late game scaling team is pretty bad.
Have they delivered? EXO here, he's been slowed by the E of the Kindred. One more, the bite from Wolf will finalize the kill onto the ADR of MSKI, and it looks like there's going to be a 3,000 gold lead here for the side of IPT.
Well, that was technically a face check. Although one on Bush, but they did not have vision enough around that area of Rift Herald for EXO to be walking cleanly in. Actually, that's not even his job. He should be grouping in with the support to do that.
They had a ward here. He knew that there was 3 people there.
Yes. Actually, yeah, that's even weirder. He shouldn't have gone in. If anything, nag-calling na lang sana siya para matakot yung IPT to back away from Rift Herald instead of walking all the way around just to get caught by Poisanity's headbutt and pulverized combo. But it's gonna be small mistakes with big losses, and that's an inner turret going down.
That's true. Here comes another gank into that mid lane. Nice ultimate coming out of Light. The flash comes out of Yume, but he actually just goes in too deep. And will he go down? No. Here comes the teleport coming out of JLC. Uses the depth charge to just splat onto that bug,
Oh.
and they get the kill so low
my
in
gosh.
HP. There's the heal from Kaigo, just saving Colette by an inch, but still, that was a very, very aggressive initiate coming in from Mineski. They might actually, lose this mid-tier 1 because of that.
Man, Mineski cannot find an opening anywhere on the map. They can't seem to set vision properly. Lagi sila nauunahan ng IPT. IPT is always proactive. They're always looking for the objectives. And this is bad because Mineski is supposed to be the one with an earlier lead because of their team composition. They're not being proactive enough. Colette has ganked mid lane twice to no success at all. And I don't know. It seems like Mineski really cannot seem to find an opening here. And I guess yun yung isang problema kasi historically, kilala na yung Mineski as that team that kind of waits during the early game and then wants to just go for team fights later on during mid-game to late game.
Yeah, but
and you can't keep that playstyle kung hindi yun yung most efficient way to play your team composition. They have to be more aggressive, more proactive with this team composition. They can't keep waiting and waiting na akalain nilang makakakuha sila eventually ng lead. That's not how you play this team.
Yeah, especially against the much more refined Imperium Pro team right now. They're looking so strong, especially with the combination of Poisanity, Suez, and JLC. I haven't even seen Light do any plays as well as Haith. They just have been staying in the mid lane and bottom lane farming. Kanina nakita natin that there was like, what, 50 CS to 75 from EXO and Haith? Look at that, 116 to 129, and EXO has like 2 deaths. Haith has been farming, now has an Essence Reaver, and there you go. Itemization-wise, is already leaning into the side of Imperium Pro Team with a 5,000 gold lead.
Yeah, it's really not looking so good for Mineski right now with a 4,000, 4 to 5,000 gold lead in favor of IPT. And gaya na sinabi namin, time is running out for Mineski in this game. If IPT, kung makascale man sila gamit yung Azir and the Kindred, things are not gonna look good for them towards that late game. Mineski needs more deep vision. Kasi yung hope natin actually para sa composition nila is the flanks. With the Lissandra and the Hecarim come in from the backside and catch Light off guard.
But speaking of catch, they have caught the Ice Queen. Can she or can he get away from this? He uses the Frozen Tune onto himself, but no, you just put yourself in a bad situation there, my friend, as Suez gets himself the 4th kill of the game. Look at that, 4-1 and 2 for the Kindred right now. He is looking really happy.
Yeah, Suez is just like, feed me the stacks, baby. Give me that Sated Devourer. I think yun yung isang pinakamagandang feeling kapag naka-Sated jungler ka. Yung 4-1-2 ka, 15 minutes pa lang, parang, yes, give me the stacks.
And how many stacks does he have already?
Give me the stacks, baby.
20, wait. He has 23 stacks, so 7 na lang. And it's there. Mamamatay na yung kayang Purple Wolf.
The moment that IPT gets the Sated Devourer and they still have a lead, I'm pretty sure Mineski has already lost this game.
Yeah, the damage will just be too real.
Yeah. But again, like we said, these are just scaling of team compositions, not the decisions of the team. So it will still depend on how Mineski acts at this point in the game. If they can find some miraculous engage or opening bago pa man maka-hyperscale itong Kindred and Azir, maybe they still have a chance of winning. But as of the moment, honestly, it's like Mineski's just waiting to lose.
Yeah, exactly. And now it's looking so difficult because I go back to what I said a while ago. How can you actually catch someone from the side of Imperium Pro Team? The only one that you can probably catch off is Suez, and he's always with JLC and Poisanity. So like, if you go for a Frozen Tomb onto the Kindred, headbutt, pulverize, sneak ka na makaka-follow up.
Yeah,
as well
true.
as, having that Lamb's Respite just as a last resort if you're like, YOLO, wala na akong kasama. I'm just gonna try to wait it out. Baka may mag-respond akong teammates. And that is making it even more difficult for Mineski to look for the picks. We've already seen it. Cleanse and Spell Shield is not the best way, or is the best way rather to counter this single target CC champions coming in from the Mineski side.
Yeah, ideally nga, yung gusto namin sana mangyari, si Colette would be the one applying early pressure onto the lanes, but we only saw 2 ganks in a span of 17 minutes, and you're an Elise.
Yeah.
And your lanes needed you. Where were you now?
That I'm thinking of you.
Well, mali yung kanta na
okay.
naisip mo eh.
Okay.
I was talking about JB, man. Pero,
okay.
Yeah, we
I'm so
lost
sorry,
the
man.
synergy there for a while. It's okay.
Yeah, it's alright.
We'll
man.
regain it. We'll regain it.
Yeah, I believe that we can find that synergy again.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, the point was Colette was supposed to be providing early pressure with that Elise, but he tried and failed. Because, gaya na nga na sinabi mo, that flash and cleanse, sapat na for all of the ganks that Kulit made. And that's considering you have a Cocoon, you have the Ring of Frost, you have the Frozen Tomb, and apparently, Light doesn't care. He's just gonna cleanse Flash away. So,
kasi ang ganda din ng paggagamit ng Emperor's Divide ni Light. Like, he pushes away Yume, which is the only one who can actually follow up on the CC, and then he just cleanses and flashes away, like you said. So easy peasy, escape, breezy there, coming in from Light. There's the initiate coming in from JLC, but it's just a bit too aggressive there. He's kind of tanky right now. He has the Sunfire Cape and the Spectre's Cowl. They get themselves that mid-tier 2 for a relatively free, and if I'm not mistaken, Imperium Pro Team has taken 3 Rift Heralds in this game.
Yep, that's a lot of objectives. All free for IPT. Hindi man lang nakakapag-contest yung MSKI except for that first Dragon that we saw them try to take earlier on in the game. And again, since Kulit could not snowball EXO or TG because of the failures in lane swaps and movements around the game, hindi tuloy sila makapag-set ng deep vision. We're seeing, actually there is some deep vision around the map. We're seeing some pink wards, for example, here, but the rest of the map is so dark for MSKI. Saan magti-TP si TG tsaka si Yume? It's always IPT on the move, making the engages, and MSKI, again, like I said, it's as if they're waiting to lose with this comp.
Yeah, they, like you said, are proactive, so it's gonna be a wake-up call for them if they lose this game 1. Wag kayong ganyan sa Imperium Pro Team. They are looking for revenge. You've taken away the rampage from them. Now they're, you know, looking for that comeback match.
Because keep in mind, sa mga nag-attend ng Rampage last year, this is a rematch finals between MSKI and IPT. Although
I believe,
there's different rosters. IPT had different members back then. Rox was still in the top lane, and the rosters were still different. So this is a different IPT, and MSKI, we don't know if they'll be able to stop this version of IPT.
Yeah, and I believe that was a 2-0 in favor of IPT, and then MSKI got the reverse sweep.
Yeah.
Will it be like this one again, where IPT like goes for 2-0, and then MSKI goes for a reverse sweep?
Oh, actually no. During the Rampage finals, that was a best of 3.
Best of 3.
And
oh,
then
sorry, my bad.
MSKI won 2-0, straight up, just taking that Rampage trophy.
Man, where the hell did I get that 5-0? I think it was like before it, ba?
All the games you've casted.
Yeah, man, there's too many. There's too many.
It happens.
Yeah.
So Yume split pushing right now. Hopefully, we'll see deeper vision from this team so that they can get some flanks going on here.
Yeah, man, but how can they do so? Imperium Pro Team have just taken a stranglehold of this match. There is no wards for MSKI to actually push over this riverside. It's all defensive wards. Granted, it can allow for that, you know, flanking position, but still, they are in the dark. They don't know where Imperium Pro Team are setting up, as well as, you know, Imperium Pro Team getting almost all of the resources around the map. Look at that. The CS discrepancies, 137 to 114, 182 to 169, 195. Oh, it says it's ADRs. It's on EXO side, but still, you could see that MSKI are not comfortable with going away from the map. Pag nagpakita sila sa mapa na onte, balik agad sila. Maybe it's just Yume here being a bit crazy, but you know, he's gonna recall there.
Well, they're in danger because we're seeing items really racking up for IPT right now. That's already Static and Essence Reaver for Hate, and then the Nashers and Needlessly Large Rod for Light, Sated and Runons and Hex Drinker already for Suez. So MSKI really has to respect already. Actually, parang nakapag-instill na ng fear yung IPT sa MSKI because we've noticed that MSKI has been roaming around, and whenever they're left alone, they die. Especially Yume earlier, nakita natin he got caught off guard at top lane. So, because of the fear that IPT has put onto MSKI, they can't even make any more moves. And, you know, that's what happens. Kapag hintay ka ng hintay, wala kang mapapala. Diba?
True that, man. Wow.
Hashtag
okay.
hugot.
Yeah, nice. I didn't even think about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, papi.
Shout out to Freak. Anyway, so Baron's really a contested objective here. There's a lot of vision already around Baron's side for IPT. Meanwhile, there's one ward here. Hindi yata makita ng pink ward.
Baron's like, hiding. No, I'm gonna keep this for you, MSKI. I'm gonna block this ward for you. Oh no, here comes the Oracle Lens. He sees it. No more vision.
Yeah, no more vision.
Okay, there you go. They have some vision around their own red side, but
yeah, but we can't count MSKI out yet. Remember that their team is very strong, supposedly, at this point of the game. They're supposed to be spiking at this part, except that in terms of items, they don't exactly have a lead. Kasi the gold is in favor of IPT. That's 41,000 to 34,000 at 23 minutes in.
Yeah,
And that's a
really
second
huge.
dragon for IPT. So they have additional turret damage. One mistake for MSKI, if they give this Baron, a Baron plus that second dragon buff will deal a lot of damage onto turrets.
Yeah, and looking into the maps, or sorry, the turrets of MSKI that are still alive, it's only the tier 3s and the Nexus alive.
Yeah.
So if you actually, like you said, allow that Baron to be taken with the second dragon buff, it's a possible inhibitor and the Nexus turret, and then they just back off to being safe. So we'll see here, MSKI. They have to do something. There's a teleport here for Yume as well as TG. They can't allow this Baron to go uncontested.
Oh.
There's a teleport, but it's too late. They can't go for a steal. Colette gets caught out there, but that's oh my god! What a ultimate coming out of Light. He just puts in the members of MSKI in their place. Poke here, poke left. They're just gonna go down one by one. JLC so healthy, and he's gonna go in onto Axel with the Riptide. Hulk smash, and that will be a 4-4-1 in favor of Imperium Pro Team.
Plus a Baron to boot. That was an insane clash coming in from IPT. Sobrang late the teleport ni Yume. He came in so late and they thought they would be able to catch IPT off guard. But in the end, Light just swoops them all into the Baron pit and locks them in like cookies in an oven and cooked up by Kindred's Lamb's Respite. And man, that's going to be a free turret for them.
That was... Oh man, MSKI were just a second too late there. He got like, Yume got like 3-man Ring of Frost, and then Light was just like, okay, you're gonna have like a 3-man Ring of Frost, I'm gonna get like a 5-man Empress Divine.
So Colette here getting caught. He was gonna try and smite steal. Yume landing some CCTG, able to jump in, but Light just
Oh my
boink.
god.
You know, all of you are gonna die right in here. That's what Light decided.
Yeah.
Like, kayo, dito lang kayo, ha?
The
Huwag kayong
Emperor
gagalaw.
has spoken.
Exactly. And he puts them all into Kindred's ult, and Kindred's just like, alright, let me just auto-attack all of you with my additional heal. He gets the perfect auto-attack right before he jumps away, and Light just free hitting outside of the pit, totally safe. There's no engage left from MSKI. And first of all, MSKI's comp isn't exactly the best team fighting composition either.
That's true.
They were supposed to be that
Run and
in-lane
gun.
skirmish pick flank
Yeah.
type of composition, not the we go all in 5v5. That was IPT's job, but MSKI did not do their job.
Should have been the run and gun, man, but again, you gotta be fast on that trigger when you're on that that composition. TG actually tries to recall, but gets poked out of his mind by Light. Here comes Hate. He has the red buff, and he's gonna try to run away. Goes for the heal, for the extra movement speed boost. Actually activates the static strip, and that's going to be TG going down in that mid lane.
Yeah, Dragon coming up in 50 seconds and a huge gold lead right now for IPT. 10,000 to start off this best of 5, and they're really looking like a confident team right now. Even with this roster change again, sa simula pala ng playoffs, that was the only time they pulled off this roster change, but still, they're looking really good with this composition and in general.
And they have been showing up. Look at that. They got like so many kills in the early game as well as turrets. And now it's going to be the Baron push here in the top lane. It's going to be a 4v5. He's about to respawn in 1 second. He doesn't have his ultimate anymore, so Shadow Moses isn't a possibility here for TG. If ever Imperium Pro Team does go in for that YOLO push or YOLO clash. And there's the ultimate coming out of Hate. They just want to get this top tier 3 going down. And the inhibitor, what can MSKI do? They can just try to poke, but look at that. TG's just, JLC's just super tanky right now. He's going in. Colette or Kaido is just super low in HP. Yume uses the ultimate onto himself, and this might be the comeback, but no, the Lamb's Respite, it just saves the members of Imperium Pro Team. Look at this, the members of MSKI going down one by one like a domino, and that's going to be a 4-for-2 in favor of Imperium Pro Team, and unless I'm mistaken, it's gonna be game 1 for the IPT team.
Man, GG, well played to IPT. Such a dominating game here against MSKI, and really looking to steal the finals cup from them. This has been an insane game.
Pretty fast and insane in the term or in the way that we didn't expect it to be that. I would say one-sided. I can't lie about it. It was one-sided.
Yeah, it really was one-sided. 27 minutes in, they were able to get a 10,000 gold lead and barely any deaths onto the members of IPT. 0 for Light, 0 for JLC, 0 for Boysanity. Really just showing up, doing everything that they needed to do to keep themselves alive, to scale into that late game.
Look at that
man,
poke.
look at Light's damage. Even Suez on that Kindred. And GLC dealing damage. I'm guessing yung pinakamalaking minion damage dito si Hate with the split pushing on Sivir.
Yeah.
But he did what he needed to do for the team. And classic IPT taking game 1 against MSKI. And this is a best of 5. We're excited to see how MSKI will adjust. Pero yung moral of the story, again, hintay ka ng hintay, wala kang mapapala.
Yeah, and you have to have that knowledge. You cannot go into something without, vision. You can't allow yourself to pupunta ako sa isang relasyon pero hindi ko kilala yung karelasyon ko, diba?
Yes, exactly.
I got that one.
Yeah, a lot of food going to be made here in the PGS finals.
Yeah.
And we're going to be back after just a bit. Again, remember guys, meron pa ring unlock and win. We still have yet to reach that 5K mark, so share the link with as many of the friends as you can. And lahat ng groups sa akin, hindi League of Legends. Basta i-share nyo lang and try to invite as many of your friends as you can so we can get that Frosted Ezreal for everyone.
Yes, and if it reaches that 8K mark, it shall be the Academy RA that's going to be given to you guys. So we'll be back after a short break for Game 2. Again, the PGS 2016 Spring Split Finals is brought to you by, of course, the official shotmate of the Pro Gaming Series. That's Booster C Energy Shot Genius. Boost your focus, boost your game. I, of course, GS Aster with an eye, and alongside here with me is
GS Amplifier.
And we'll be right back. Follow up. Here comes the engage in that top lane. It's going to be a 4v3. Boysanity as well as Suez are on the run. Here comes TG, and they will just back off, wanting to get that top tier 1. TG so low. There you go. Hawk smash coming in from JLC with the Riptide, just ripping away the HP of TG. EXO follows through, but is there enough damage that he will be able to get the kill onto Suez? No, he will not. Colette goes out of his mind to try and bite the Kindred. He will get the finalizing blow, but JLC gets the blight. The flash comes out of Yume, but he actually just goes in too deep. And will he go down? No. Here comes the teleport coming out of JLC. Uses the depth charge to just splat onto that bug, and will get get the kill so low in HP. There's the heal from Kaigo, just saving. But the Ice Queen, can she or can he get away from this? He uses the Frozen Tune onto himself, but no, you just put yourself in a bad situation there, my friend. It's too late. They can't go for a steal. Colette gets caught out there, but that's oh my god, what a ultimate coming out of Light. He just puts in the members of MSKI in their place. Poke here, poke left. They're just gonna go down one by one. JLC so healthy, and he's gonna go in onto Axel with the Riptide. Hulk smash, and that will be a 4-4-1. And there's the ultimate coming out of Hate. They just want to get this top tier 3 going down and inhibitor. What can MSKI do? They can just try to poke, but look at that. TG's just, JLC's just super tanky right now. He's going in. Colette or Kaido is just super low in HP. Yume uses the ultimate onto himself, and this might be the comeback, but no, the Lamb's Respite, it just saves the members of Imperial Pro Team. Look at this, the members of MSKI going down one by one like a zombie. IPT team.
Man, GG, well played to IPT. Such a dominating game here against MSKI, and really looking to steal the final